Hey y'all, it's me, Alex from the Longest Cosplays, bringing you another video. Why am I standing up? Well, you read the title. I am doing a suit review. The last one I did was like 4 years ago, and it's in really bad quality. So if you want to see that, it's on my channel. You don't have to scroll that far down. Um, but I got a new suit, but there's some things I want to talk about. Um, First off, let me actually show you what I received. So yesterday, I got this bad boy. This is a Sensational Spider-Man suit, in the style of Dan Jurgens' art. Now you might be wondering, Alex, that's not... Why does that look a little different than the average Sensational suit? Well, this was a design that my good friend Ethan Bachirimiro, he showed me this design. It was on one poster that was released in like Italy or something. Or it was like a very early poster. And it had this design on it, which features, it's got the classic red of the webs, but it also has the blue shoulders going all the way down, with the black, with black sleeves and gloves or whatever. It's the same on the back. At least I think it's the same on the back. We don't really know what it looks like on the back, but I assume it's no different than the front, right? And the bottoms are black too. The red half boots, love it. So I decided, because I'd already made a Dan Jurgens Sensational Spider-Man pattern, link in the description. But I figured, he showed me this well after I had already, published that to my store. So I was like, I'll go ahead and make this version, put it on my shop, and get it for myself. And that was, I don't even know how long ago that conversation was. But I finally decided this year to get it. Because I honestly really wanted to. I was kind of itching to have a suit that nobody else had. So I was like, you know what? Let me get it. The suit is from printcostume.com. Use code TLC15 for 15% off your order. Not only does it help me, but it helps you. And not only does it help you, but it helps me get more suits and whatnot. I haven't done one of these in so long, can you tell? But I'm going to talk about the stuff that I got on it, and then I'm going to talk about the nightmare that I went through to get this thing. So, it's custom sized to me. I always recommend the custom sizing, because it just looks better, so honestly. So if you can get custom sizing, do it. I got a detached mask, which I made. I finished the lenses yesterday. I'm not joking. I thought about finishing them today, and just letting them sit overnight, but I got way too excited, so detached lenses, or not detached lenses, detached mask, made the lenses with window screen and craft foam, with a mask zipper. On the back I got a neck zipper, U-shape entry, which I like the U-shapes more than the straight back zipper, only because the straight back zipper will come all the way down and cut the spider in half. There's like a few exceptions, like my Superman suit, which you'll see in a video soonish. That has a straight back zipper, but it's covered by the cape, and also there's not much of a design on the back. But for stuff like that, I don't mind it, but I generally prefer the U-shaped zipper. I got forearm zippers, which I like way more than, you can't really see it, because it's black. There you go. Forearm zippers. I prefer these to, the detached gloves, mainly because it's easier to manage, in my opinion. I find that detachable gloves, they take a little bit longer to put on and make look nice. These, you can just take your hand out of the, sleeve and then use your phone or whatever. And then I always get Kung Fu shoes. Always get Kung Fu shoes. Unless you plan on installing your own kind of shoes, I always recommend the Kung Fu shoes. These are actually, like, heftier than what they normally are. So I don't know what kind of shoe they use. Well, it's still the Kung Fu shoe, but I don't know if they use, like, a different brand of shoe or something. But these feel, like, really heavy compared to, like, the previous suits that I have. Which is a good thing. I like when my shoes are sturdy. Because, not that I've ever had a problem with any of the previous ones, but these, I can feel they really upgraded these, and that's really nice. I like that. But yeah, those are all. That's all the things I got on it. But I'm gonna talk about the nightmare that I went through to get this thing. It's a really weird story, and I think I'm the only person to have ever had an experience like this. If I'm not, let me know in the comments, because I would love to see A, if anyone else has dealt with this, or B, how anyone has dealt with this. So, these suits, they're from print costume. They usually come in bags like this, in case you're curious. I don't like these bags. They had much better ones before they rebranded from Zentai's Zone to print costume. They had like these mesh bags that you can wash if you really wanted to. They were really nice. I'm gonna just toss that over there. But this was shipped to me. How do I want to just? So I was supposed to get this suit like a couple of months ago. It never showed up. So I was like, okay, maybe it's just the company they use. Maybe they just didn't know what to do. So I was like, all right, that's fine. It never showed up. So I was like, I emailed them. They were very kind of. They're like, oh, well, send us your address again, and we'll try again. So I was like, all right. They're very nice about it. The people over at Print Costume were very nice to me. And it turns out they ship through a company called JS Express, which I'd never heard of. Apparently it's a low-cost alternative to like DHL and FedEx. So I was like, okay, alright. And then I learned that they handed it over to a US shipping company, which I had also never heard of, called SpeedX. I blocked out all the information, but you can see, I don't know if you can actually see. It says SpeedX right there. So, I was like, alright, never heard of this. Let me look into this for a little while, because maybe they're having trouble, like, finding my address, which shouldn't be an issue, because my address is in a regular neighborhood. So I was like, okay, whatever. Turns out, very unreliable shipping company. Apparently, packages from all over the world are disappearing from this company, because of this company. So I dug into it. I found an address that I thought was a warehouse. Wasn't. I ended up calling a storage unit, which the manager was very kind. It was like, yeah, we know this is a problem. This company's been using our address for God knows how long. Like, please, if you can, tell them to stop. So I was like, all right. I was very glad that the guy was transparent with me. There's no way to contact them directly. There's no phone number, no address or anything. And they don't have like much of an email. They have an AI chatbot, which I wasn't a fan of. It's like one of those assist things or whatever. So, me being the dumb and silly adult that I am, I decided to bully the AI chatbot into essentially escalating the situation so much that I had to basically force a real person to like email me. The reason I had to do this, by the way, was because they kept trying to deliver to the address, but no one would show up. No one showed up, and it would mark as undeliverable because the address wasn't accessible. Which, again, I live in a regular neighborhood, so I don't know how that was even a problem. So, I got a real person to email me, which even then I was suspicious of because it didn't come off like a real person. So I was like, I got an email back, so I was like, alright, I gave them clear delivery instructions. They better follow up with this. So, yesterday, it was out for delivery, all day yesterday. So I was like, probably not gonna get it. Probably not gonna get it. And then the other day, it was out for delivery all day. Didn't think I was gonna get it. Yesterday, it actually showed up. And by this time, I was already expecting the suit to arrive like a week ago. By the way, I was expecting this second suit, the one that I have now, to arrive like a week ago. So I was like, if it doesn't show up, I'm just gonna kind of give up and try to figure something out. Which, I'm glad that I didn't have to do that, but it showed up yesterday. I was really thrilled, because I hadn't gotten a new suit since, like, November. Like, I hadn't properly ordered a new suit since November. And, yeah, it's here now. And, you know, the quality is, quality is really good. I don't want to blame print costume on any of this, or on most of this, because I know JS Express can go to FedEx and DHL, but they chose to do SpeedX, which never heard of. So I think in the future, I'm gonna start like email or putting in the notes like, please ship through DHL or FedEx. Or if you go through JS Express, make sure it goes through DHL or FedEx afterward. I might have to start doing that because I don't want this situation to happen again. I was really angry about this. I don't like getting too angry, to begin with, especially not on camera. But I figured I had to mention this because that was a part of this suit getting here. And I am really happy with this. Don't get me wrong. After the absolute nightmare that I went through to make sure this actually showed up, I am very happy with this. So, why not show you guys what it looks like on me? So, yeah, let's do that. Alright, I'm in the suit. Looks pretty good. It fits, fits really well. Yeah, I already wore it a few times yesterday just to get a feeling, because I was worried that it wasn't going to fit. It looked short to me. Like, when I held it up for the first time, I thought it looked like, I don't know, but it fits beautifully, everything works. I have no idea, it's been so long since I've done like one of these, so I look crazy. But, as you can see, got the, cell shading going on everywhere, even on the back. Wait, I guess you can't, well, you can kind of tell, but there's cell shading on the front and back. Got the legs. I can't bring them up all the way. There you go, the half boots on the legs. I would have proper photos for this, but it is way too hot outside for me to be getting a photo shoot. So if you want to see photos of this in the future, go check out my Instagram below. Like I said, I am really happy with this thing. It's such a unique design. That it like resonates with me. I really like doing the niche stuff. Because those who know me know that, at least in the cosplay game, those who know me know that I dive into the very obscure suits that like no one else really does. And I'm like, the cell shading guy. I much prefer when my comic book costumes look like they're from the comic books. So that's why, a few of my cosplays have, like, the shading going on. Actually, I think the best example would be on the hands, but I don't know if you can see it that clearly. But, the radial webs, I like the radial webs on Sensational. I think it looks absolutely amazing. And I really wish they would do more of that. But, I don't know. Like I said, I'm really happy with this thing. I'm glad that I have it. Like I said, the link to my pattern shop is in the description below. Use code TLC for 50% off your order at printcostume.com. I also take pattern commissions, which I haven't really talked about on here, but I take pattern commissions. Message me on Instagram. I have set prices for everything. So if you want a suit for a convention or anything, hit me up. I can do that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I know this is like a little bit different than the average like suit review. I know my buddy Brad Spectacular Scarlet Spider had kind of like an angrier one with his Color Fabrics Kane suit, which I don't even know if that's still on his channel, but I remember watching that. I was like, oh my god, that's awful. Anyway.
Wait. Hey guys, it's me, Alex, from the editing phase of the video, and I want to touch a little bit more on the situation with the shipping, because I feel like I didn't talk about it nearly enough. I kind of alluded that shipping was kind of a nightmare. Understatement. It was a full-on, full-fledged nightmare. I'm still waking up, and I'm fresh out of the shower basically, so I caught up on a couple of the buddies' YouTube videos before doing this, but anyway, side ramble. Um, I ordered this suit back in March, initially. March 4th, I think I sent in the email. And, all was going pretty well. It was tracking the way it was supposed to. And, I got the email that it was shipped out. I have all the emails and stuff pulled up here. I'll put screenshots of anything important so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But I got the email that it was shipped out on April 9th, which month or so, but after I ordered the suit, which it's pretty normal time. At least for this time of the year, that's pretty normal. Or for that time of the year, sorry, that was pretty normal. Like 3 to 4 weeks, processing time, because people are still getting new suits at the beginning of the year. So they sent me the email, and normally, if you've ever ordered from Print Costume before, normally you'll get one or two shipping companies, DHL or FedEx. Those are usually the two. That's how it was for the past 10 years, pretty much. At least in my experience. And this time, I got a Trek 718 link. And I was like, never heard of that. But it seems like it's legitimate. I looked into it for a little bit. And I was like, okay, sure. So I go, I keep track of the information. I find out that they're shipping this through a company called JS Express. And I'd never heard of it, but, I assumed that it was like a Chinese shipping company because, it's labeled under China. So I was like, okay, sure. And then come a week or so later, I get the email that, or I didn't even get an email. I actually had to keep checking. Sorry, I had to keep checking the website because I usually refresh to see. I find out that it was marked undeliverable because my address was incorrect. Mind you, I've been putting in the exact same address for years. Obviously, I'm not going to give you my address, but it's a valid U.S. address in a regular neighborhood. So I was like, there has to be some kind of confusion here, right? So I emailed Print Costume. I believe I emailed them April 9th. Being like, hey, why is it saying it's incorrect? I gave you the right address. It's a valid U.S. address. They're like, we're sorry, we'll contact them again, see what happens, and then I waited about a few weeks. On April 21st, I emailed them being like, hey, I still haven't received anything. Like, what's happening? And then they were like, sorry, we'll send a new one to them, just give us your address again, make sure we got it right. And I was like, alright, that's fine. I thought it was like, the way I wrote it was wrong. Even though, when you type my address into Google Maps, it comes up as my address. So I abbreviated I abbreviated my city in my address because sometimes it could get confused because there's another one in like New Jersey or something. So I was like, okay, let me abbreviate it a little bit and explicitly, write my state there too. So I was like, okay, yeah, here we go. So I got the email, or I checked up on April 23rd, like, just want to see if there was an update. There was no update. On May 10th, I still didn't get anything. They were like, okay, we're just gonna send you another suit. We're just gonna make you another suit and send it to you, which was very nice of them to do. And for context, this was a suit that I used my points on, my sponsored points. Thank you guys so much for using my discount code. It really helped me. TLC15 for 15% off your order at Print Costume. So they were like, yeah, we're just gonna make you another one, man. Don't worry about it. And I was like, thank you, I appreciate that. So on on May 29th or something, I asked for an update, and they were like, hey man, just give us a week, you know. And I was like, alright, cool. So again, taking the normal amount of time. Here's where it gets interesting. June 17th, on June 17th, I receive another email being like, hey, it was sent out. I'm like, cool, it was sent out. Another Track 718 link. I go to this one. What do you know? JS Express again. So I'm like, okay, there has to be something up here. So I looked into it. It is a legitimate shipping company. Low cost, which I wasn't too, like, sure about how legitimate it was. Because, obviously, depending on, like, there's some, like, you know, depending on how things work during the time of the year, like, they'll hand off, like, international packages to other, like, shipping companies like FedEx, DHL, USPS, UPS, that sort of thing. But I had to go through, like, a week or so of, June 15th. It was the label was made, arrived at the transit center, which was when I got the email, June 17th. And then it went from China, which makes sense. These do come from, you know, China, to Arlington Heights, Illinois. That was my first red flag. I was like, why is it going to Illinois? None of my suits have ever went to Illinois before. None of them. I usually forget where they start off when they come to the US, but some way or another, they're ending up in Tennessee, and then they'll go to Charlotte, and then to my house. So I was already put off by that. Went from Arlington, Illinois, to Forest Park, Georgia, which, again, I was like, why? What's happening there? And then it gets to Mount Holly, where I live. And got another thing on June 29th being like, hey, delivery failed, your address is inaccessible. And I'm like, okay, what the hell is going on? So I decide to figure out if there is a US shipping label, because sometimes they'll change it. Because there's an international shipping label, and then it comes to the US. Sometimes, you know, if it gets handed off, there's a new label. So I decide to email them, or email JS Express. Funny enough, it is hard to contact Chinese companies from the US. I had to actually consistently bug the emails to see what the hell was going on. I go through other international tracking sites. Come to find out that it goes to a company called SpeedX, which I did talk about in the video. If you ever, and I'm being so serious, if you ever get like a package shipped through them, good fucking luck. Good luck. It is damn near impossible. I thought it was impossible to get in contact with like JS Express to see if there was a US shipping label. Try getting any human representative from SpeedX to talk to you, and I'll give you like a golden medal or something, because it took like I had to go through like several Reddit forums. I ended up calling a storage unit because their address was used as a warehouse, which wasn't correct at all. I think I said in the video, like, the manager of that place was very kind. He told me that this company has been using their address without permission for a while now, and packages going missing. So I'm like, when I heard that, I was like, okay, I'm probably never getting this. And then I kind of accepted that for a little while. And then I got an email. And this is why in the video I said bullying works. Or if I didn't say it, then I'm going to say it here, bullying works. If you go on SpeedX's website, you will notice they do not have a phone. They do not have a phone number. They do not have an email. Very huge red flags. They have an AI chat assistant. I think it's called Miles or something. If you like press it enough, it'll escalate the situation to get an actual email back. I had to do that like 3 times. One of those times, and I think it was the last time I tried it, I actually threatened to call the authorities, which I wasn't actually going to do, but I was thinking about it. But I like kind of threatened to, you know, call the authorities on this because I was pretty pissed. Finally got an email from someone, in which even then I didn't think was a real thing. I got an email saying, "Hey, we're sorry for the inconvenience. We're gonna take everything we can to make your, you know, the rest of this easy for you." And then like the next day, on July. This was July 1st, mind you. On July 1st, I get an email saying, "Hey, your package is out for delivery. Thank you for your patience." And I was like, in my head, I'm like, I'll believe it when I see it. Come to my surprise, it arrived that day. It arrived on July 1st. I actually watched it arrive. And I must say, I would not have known it was from them if I didn't see the guy walking out of the van. I was in my living room, and there is an unmarked black van just like parked outside my house. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, well, this can't be good, right? It's an unmarked vehicle, and he's been sitting at the house for a second. Sure enough, it is my package. And I watched the guy come up and deliver it, take the photo, and leave. And I was like, my God, it actually arrived. I was pretty damn happy. And of course, you know, me being the guy I am, I immediately like unbagged it, or I guess yeah, it would be unbagged. I unbagged it, made sure it fit and everything, just to make sure everything was good. Quality was great. The suit turned out really well. Print costumes quality is amazing, and I really do recommend them. But this shipping experience was a huge fucking nightmare for me. And mind you, I like went through, I had like full conversations with like my folks and other people about this. I've never been so mad at anything before. I really don't like, I said in the video, excuse me, I really don't like getting angry. I really don't. It's not worth my energy to be angry at things like this. Considering the fact that this was the first suit I had ordered since November of 2025, or the first suit I had gotten since November 2025, I was like, well, that's one hell of a way to start off the suit collection for 2026. I will definitely be telling Print Costume to, you know, if possible, ship through DHL or FedEx primarily, because this was too much of a nightmare to deal with. Now, I'm not putting all this on Print Costume. I'm sure, because JS Express does go to FedEx and DHL. I have noticed, or I've looked into it. I know they do. But the fact that they handed it off to they claim to be like a last mile delivery service or something. You know, get the packages. I'm pretty sure a lot of drop shipping companies like Temu and AliExpress use SpeedX. I think Amazon does too, to an extent. The fact that it was handed off to this company, which is notoriously unreliable, is a really bad look. Just be wary, be cautious. I think I'm the only person that's ever dealt with this, because I've asked multiple people in the community. Even my good friend, PSM, I asked him, because he had gotten a suit, like, right around when I ordered this one. He ordered around the same time that I did, and they shipped through DHL. So I was like, I'm getting fucked over here. So, I think I'm the only person to have this issue, but this was such a huge red flag for me that I have to talk about it. And I realize that it's making the video much longer because I'm doing this, but this needed to be talked about, or else I fear it's going to happen again. Going forward, I'm going to start telling Print Costume to ship with DHL or FedEx, because I don't want to have to deal with this shit again. This has not put me off from their services. Their quality is amazing. Again, cannot recommend them enough. Just, this was the one experience that I'm like, there's no way I could get by without talking about this fully. So, thank you for the ramble. I'm going to hand it off to, I guess, Reviewing Alex to take on the outro. So, take it on, Reviewing Alex.
Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye now.